Hey creatives! Hi! Welcome back to my channel. This is Sammy Series Create, and this is the channel where I do all sorts of DIY and creative projects and I bring you along for the ride. So if you're new here, hi, nice to meet you. I am relatively new too. This is a new venture for me, but I just wanted to invite everyone along while I'm being nice and crafty and creative. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, a like button and the notification button if you want a little ding every time I upload a video. So this tutorial is something that combines the ability to be able to be comfy and to stash things. What more do you want in life? Pocket pillows! So this is currently living in my room, it's currently living on my bed, and it's just handy. Instead of me throwing it all on the floor or filling my side table at night, I can just pop it all in this and that can just go on the floor next to me. So this is the one that I will be making today. So this is an envelope pillow. It's literally just got the opening here and you just pop your pillow in and out. It's really easy to use and really easy to make. This one I've made it with 2 pockets. You can be a little bit more imaginative or be really creative and you can pop some extra pockets in if you want to. I've got stashed in this one, I've got a journal, a little book. This is the adult version. Perfect size. Shh. And we have also got snacks, more snacks. See, it's great. You can keep everything hidden and people won't know where they are. So all jokes aside, this is actually really perfect as well for anyone that you know that's got kids. It's a great travel pillow, so you can pop books, some little crayons, you can pop a DS. I'm showing my age now, aren't I? You can pop a Nintendo Switch in here as well. Any of the kids' stuff. You can carry it out to the car and then they can fall asleep on it and be nice and quiet. That's what you hope anyway. So without further ado, I'm going to teach you how to make these. On to the tutorial. You will need an ironing board, an iron, some material for your pillow, material for your pocket, interfacing, stuff to make your pattern, scissors, ruler, something to mark with, pins or clips. So this is the basics of the pattern. You need a handle, you need the pocket binding, you need a pocket, you need the front piece of the pillow, and you need 2 of the back pieces of the pillow. To make my pattern, I was taught to use this freezer paper and this frog tape, and that way you can iron your pattern to your material and you don't have to pin it. And this makes me super happy. These measurements were based on a pillowcase that I did already have and they can be altered and changed. They do include a 1-inch seam allowance just to account for my wonky sewing and my wonky cutting, because this is real. Now the width of the 2 back pieces are the same as the front piece, but the length is 2/3 that of the front piece. My front piece will be 18 inches down, therefore 2/3 of that will be 12, meaning it will be 18 by 12. The pocket piece is the same width as the front piece, but half the length. The length is 18 inches down, and therefore half of this will be 9 inches. The binding also needs to match the width of the front and the pocket piece. And the handle is just a generic size, so it will probably work for most size pillows. However, if you watch this tutorial and think it needs to be a little bit bigger, feel free to adjust the measurements. Horrible maths all done, we're going to iron the pattern pieces to the material, waxy side down. I used a contrasting material for my pocket, but you just do you and whatever you think works best. If you do use a material with a pattern, just make sure that your pattern is going in the right direction. Just check this regularly. The back 2 pieces need to be the same size, so once you've got your direction right, turn it inside out and fold it in half. Then line up your pattern piece with the folded edge of the material, and that way when we cut it out later, we will cut out 2 of these pieces. Oh no! You ironed it wrong, I heard you say? Well, don't worry, this freezer paper is fab. The beauty of it is that you can peel it off, readjust and just iron it back down. This means these patterns can be used several times. And this is just another reason why I dance over freezer paper. They aren't paying me to say this, by the way, I just think it's great. Now we've got all our pattern pieces ironed down to the material, and it's just time to cut them out. So if you have a different way of doing patterns, then that's absolutely fine. I just find this way really quick, really easy, and I can't cut very straight, so this really just helps so I'm not got the material moving around on me. Just keep cutting, just keep cutting, just keep cutting, cutting, cutting. What do? We cut, cut, cut. So while I'm cutting, I just grab the interfacing and I cut a piece roughly the same size as the pocket piece. Now this interfacing just makes it a little bit sturdier, make sure the material's not really floppy. Although if you don't have any, I do think this probably could be done without. And this is the really satisfying bit. Ooh. DPD's here. Are you ready for this? It's like pulling off a plaster. Oh, beautiful. We're going to iron the interfacing to the pocket. Make sure your iron isn't too hot. Some people do prefer to put a piece of material or a tea towel underneath, and just trim the interfacing down to match the pocket. These are our pieces, now the material's all cut out. Here I'm marking out a 1-inch hem on the back pieces of material along the edges that are going to be overlapping. A little reminder, just check your pattern direction here again and make sure you are hemming the right end so that the pattern is going in the right direction. And we're just ironing these hems in just to make it a bit easier to sew later on. I hate ironing so much, but it's just a really good idea, makes it easier, and we can just get some of the creases out here as well while we're at it, give the material a steam. Now for the binding, so give it a crease down the middle, then fold each half inwards towards the middle, like here. I hope that's explained okay. And then give it an iron just to keep it all flat. Then fold it all in half again and give it another iron. And this shot just gives you an idea of how the binding is going to be attached to the pocket later on. Now we're going to grab the handle piece and just do exactly the same thing. We create the handle in exactly the same way. Now the ironing is finished, I'm going to be really British, completely stereotypical, and go and pop the kettle on and make a brew. Fueled by caffeine, we can now start to put our pillow together. Here I am clipping the binding to the pocket. You can use normal pins, but I find that obviously these don't put holes in your material like pins do, and just keep it really sturdy. I'm roughly sewing the binding with 1/2 inch seam, and as demonstrated here, at the start or the end of a row of stitches, just do a couple of back stitches just to make it really secure. And get your sew on. Obviously just make sure you're removing the clips as you go down the material. And this should be your finished binding. So I apologise for the crazy lines that are coming out from this material. I didn't really notice it when I was doing this, and I definitely didn't know it was going to come out on camera like this. So anyway, here I'm going to turn this one pocket into 2 pockets. I'm marking in roughly 5 inches from the end, and I'm drawing a line just so that I can sew straight, because again my sewing is rubbish. You can do whatever you want with this and add as many pockets as you want really. Then clip to secure and sew straight down that line. This stitch then separates this into 2 different pockets. Then we're going to sew a straight stitch down the handle just to secure it. And I'm also going to sew the hems that we created earlier on along the back pieces of the pillow. I think my seam line was around 6/8 of an inch, but don't worry too much, just eyeball it. It really depends on the size of your hem and how much material you've got. Lay down your front piece with your pocket, and we're going to work out where to attach the handle. So measure this roughly so that the handle is in the middle of the piece, and then you're going to pin it with your handle facing down, but try not to put your pins in too high as the machine will be going over this bit. Then arrange your back two pieces. So they need to be right side facing down, and the two ends that you hemmed need to be overlapping. So again, just do a last double check on your pattern just to make sure it's facing the right way and you've got the pieces the right way around. Then you're going to pin it in place or clip it like I have all the way around. We're going to do one massive long stitch all the way around the pillow just to keep it all secure. When you get to the end of one side, keep the needle into your material, lift up your machine foot and just spin your material around. Release your foot again and you should just be able to carry on sewing and go around the corners. So when you're all stitched up, just round off the corners, making sure you don't go through these stitches that you've just made, and this will just help us get the corners out when we turn it the right way around. So flip it and just go around and push out all those corners just to make sure everything's nice and straight. Don't forget to just remove the pins from the handle. One envelope, perfect for your pillow. Pop over it with a dreaded iron one last time just to make sure it's really neat and all the creases are out. Enjoy your wrestling match to get your pillow into your case. And voila! One super easy, creative, comfy pocket pillow where you can stash your stuff. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you have, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. It would be really great just to have all the support I can while I am trying to grow my channel. If you've got any ideas of any future videos that you want me to do, pop it down in the comments box below or just come and say hey. These are going to be put to perfect use. So until next Thursday, keep creative. Bye.